We're going to go right to this pick claw pattern that we use sometimes. More importantly, we're going to go to this four-finger technique where every finger has one string and one string only, right? So the thumb is going to be the top string, pointer finger is the C, middle finger is the E, and the third or ring finger is the bottom string A, all right? So the first thing you should be comfortable with is picking each string by itself. And remember, each finger only has one string and one string only that it's responsible for. And so you should be comfortable doing this kind of thing, picking any of the strings in any pattern. This is just 1, 2, 3, 4, easiest, but a great one to practice, okay? And then, the pick claw pattern is another one that we're going to use today for que sera, sera. And so that's where you pick with your thumb, and then these three fingers simultaneously work together as like a claw. And you're basically, I've been teaching this, and I think one of the things that's important to understand is I'm not doing that. My motion is not like this. It's not. It's more like getting under and coming straight above. Right. The idea is that you kind of want to get under the strings and pluck all three of them at the same time, and then be ready to put them right back down and do it again. I would say of all the different things that we do with this PIMA, four-finger pattern, this is the one that may take the most effort to coordinate, because it should sound like a single action. It's not this. It's all together as one. All right, and then the first one that we'll do is the one we use for que sera, sera, which is pick, claw, claw, 1, 2, 3. The idea here is to get a good sound without really losing your position. And by the way, the position here has nothing to do with being rooted on the, there's no fingers rooted here because we're constantly pulling away. So the key, I think, here is that you have to, get your fingers in the natural position, and then just make sure that your forearm right here is very, very stable. That's really the key to keeping you grounded. And then you just want, you want the minimal amount of effort. And really what I mean is that you don't want to get very far away, so you don't want to do something like that, because it takes too much energy to get back down there. Now this is 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It has a very waltzy kind of a sound. And then in 4/4 time, a common one would be pick, claw, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, try to note how minimal. I mean, my hand is hardly moving at all. It's hardly moving away from the ukulele, and it's just constantly ready to go back and do the next thing, whatever that may be. Okay? I think that's the key, is that you don't find yourself, either that or that, because then you have to move back down, right? So it's just a kind of getting under the strings and pulling straight up on them is how I would best describe it. Okay? And then, so if this technique interests you, the things you could practice would be that, the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Or if you're thinking 4/4, just pick, claw, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then probably the most difficult one, I think that's not too bad. 1, 2, 3, 4. Each finger, one string at a time. Just start off with the simplest pattern, which is just top down, right? Thumb, pointer, middle, ring, bump, 2, 3, 4. Like everything else that, when I talked about muscle memory with the left hand when we're learning chords, the same thing applies for the right hand techniques as well. So you you want to make sure that you're not develop any bad habits if you start practicing this, right? And then the one I want to look at today, and that we're going to probably spend the most time practicing, is the 6/8 pattern. And 6/8, by the way, it's really the same as 3/4. 3/4 means you have 3/4 notes, 1, 2, 3 for each measure. So if you're looking at my charts, for example, that means that every time you see a chord, there's going to be 3/4 notes. 1, 2, 3, change, 2, 3, change, 2, 3. Now, obviously, if you're not changing if the chord is the same, but the point is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right. So 6/8 still has three beats. It still is 1, 2, 3, but we're incorporating and 1 and 2 and 3 and. So the technical description is that we have 6/8 notes. 6/8 notes per measure. Okay, and an eighth note is twice. There's twice as many eighth notes as there are quarter notes, right? So if it's 1, 2, 3, those are quarter notes. 1, 2, 3. Eighth notes are 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. Some people prefer to think about it like 6/8, in which case it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's what I want to look at today. There's a couple of songs we're going to do later that work really well with this picking pattern. All right, and this pattern it's really, I think the key is understanding the order of the strings. So the order of the strings that we're picking is G, C, E, A, E, C. You can do that with 2 fingers, and I think I certainly do it sometimes with 2 fingers. And if you're doing that, you probably would let your thumb handle the top 2 and your pointer finger the bottom 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But I think, it's worth the effort to try to learn this 4-finger technique. With 4 fingers, in theory, you should be able to go twice as fast as you can with 2. Now, that's not always true, especially in the beginning, because you might be slower with 4 fingers in the beginning because it's new. But I would say the first thing to do if you're interested in this technique and you want to use it for a song like, say, Silent Night or Can't Help Falling in Love, then you just need to practice the right hand technique without even worrying about chords. So that's what actually, I guess we can make a chord just so it sounds good. We'll do C chord, and just nice and slow, we're just going to do that pattern a little bit, all right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now this is very slow. Once you can do that comfortably, then you start picking up the pace. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you'll find the sweet spot depending on the song. Going a little faster. Wise men say only fools rush in. So you can see that even though the song sounds slow singing-wise, if you're using this pattern, the eighth notes actually are going to feel kind of fast. I'm just kind of playing that song by memory. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. So if you ever have any strums, if you know how we have say like a C with a slash, if that ever happens, then your resting pattern before you start again, you'll count to 6, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, again, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So those are the things you would need to know if you're thinking about applying 6/8. And 6/8 in theory can work on any song that works in 3/4, but it doesn't necessarily always sound right, right? But there's 2 songs where I think it sounds really good, and those are Can't Help Falling in Love and Silent Night, which we'll look at both of those today. Okay? So if that's a technique that you're interested in, the first thing to do is just not even worrying about chords, is just get this right hand muscle memory. Develop the muscle memory to where you can just do this without thinking. It doesn't need to be fast ever, but it's gonna feel fast in the beginning because there's twice as many activities as there are with just down, 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 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and it's still slow. 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. So, just practice that right hand technique until you can kind of do it without giving it much thought, right? Muscle memory. Once you can do that at a medium to fast pace, then you should be able to apply it to a song. Okay? All right, so any questions?